What's up, guys? Got a great video for you, man. I really like this knife. I don't know why it took me so long to get it. Just saw other knives. This knife doesn't appear in pictures like it does in person. A lot of them don't, but this one is really that way. Like it says in the thumbnail, we're talking about the Spyderco Shaman, or Shaman, however you want to say it. I really like this knife. So when I saw it in pictures, the scales, even though I knew they were G10, it didn't compute in my head because it just looks like plastic. I liked the shape of the knife. I liked that the blade was thick and beefy. All that stuff is right up my alley. And I knew I could get aftermarket scales, but I think that's what took me so long to get this knife. So the other day I said, forget it, and I went on the group and I found a guy that had one, almost new. And when it got here, man, I was pleasantly surprised. The ergos and the weight and it has the the polished, tumbled and polished scales. Man, it feels amazing. So this is a Mr. Glesser Sr. designed this knife. And this one's out of the Golden, Colorado factory. So the guy I bought it from had these. Now I haven't bought a whole lot of aftermarket scales. I bought maybe 4 or 5. Haven't had any issues with them. He told me that with these scales on there, and I didn't think I was going to use these anyway, but I was going to dye them. He said they were 3D printed scales and that the centering was off really bad. And man, he wasn't kidding. The blade was all the way to one side, which wasn't an issue to me either way. Even he was completely upfront about the whole thing. And these are junk. But my thing is, I really like the G10 scales. The only thing I think I would like better is the carbon fiber. I like the black G10 stock scales. They feel just great in hand. I don't like my micarta that much because, man, I have oily hands. I live in Houston, Texas. It's hot. Our hands are always sweaty, and that knife would look dirty all the time, and that would drive me crazy. This knife, one of my favorite things about this knife is the action. I mean, it's nothing to flip that blade up. I love that, and I don't know why all knives can't be like that. That is just, for, what is this knife, like $200 now? I think it was $150 and then $175. Now it's $202 or something. Still, even at $202, this is a great value. This is a killer, what I call heavy EDC, which is regular EDC for me. This falls in my category of like my K2, big, either big or beefy, my Strider AR. I mean, that thing runs right along with my Strider AR, but it's not so intrusive in the pocket. And it's not near as heavy. Even though I love the Strider AR, it'll probably never leave. Also, kind of favors in shape and size to the buoy. Another one that it kind of reminds me of, like a good version of, is like the Magnitude. It doesn't have quite the styling the Magnitude has, but it has the beefiness, but not so beefy. That's probably one of the downsides to the Magnitude and the Rubicon is the thickness of it. This thing fits nicely in your pocket. This is carrying a big knife without the penalty. It just fits well. I mean, I'll check a couple of measurements, even though I normally don't do a lot of measurements, but let's check this one. So the blade is 3 3/4. The handle scales are like 4 5/8 total. I mean, 8 1/4 knife. The knife I have coming tomorrow is 8 1/4. The amalgam. It's a big knife. It's a big, long knife. It has a compression lock as well, and I'm excited about getting that one. Excited to review it, but most pictures, you can't see the scales very good. So I wanted to give you guys an up close look at the scales. Because down here, looks like cheap plastic crap. And it's like, man, what's $200 about that? But when you get it in your hand and it feels like it's home. So I only have one issue with this knife. It's an issue that's fixable, but I don't get it. And the amalgam has the same problem, but even worse. So when you close this knife, and this is a known issue. Everybody knows about this. See that tit that bumps right there? Well, I'm used to when I open my close my compression lock knives, leaving my finger there. Man, that thing whacks the hell out of your finger. Look at that. Puts a dent in your finger. It's something you got to get used to, and it's definitely not a deal breaker. And if it bothered you too bad, you could just whack that thing off and make you a sharpening tool right there. But man, this knife is so great. I hate to do anything to it. I just got bit in the butt really hard for modifying a Medford. Broke a screw, and now they won't sell me a screw. So the knife's pretty much worthless unless I can find a screw. So I'm not real big on modifying knives right now. I'm a little jaded about it, but they did a great job. Sal Glesser hit a home run with this knife. I knew that I would like it. I knew there was no question to me whether I would like this knife. I didn't know how much I was going to like it. It just feels good in hand. Even when you choke up on that, most of these knives that have a little choil there, and then the blade starts right there. It's super sharp. I mean, one mistake and you're gonna cut your damn hand open. That finger choil is one I'll actually use. I'm not a guy that uses finger choils. I mean, I'm not choking up doing like detailed carving and shit, but this one I would. I mean, it's very comfortable. There's jimping in there. There's a lot of control. It just works. S30V steel. I have no issues with S30V at all. Great steel. I do want the S90V. I'm a huge fan of S90V. I don't know about the carbon fiber, but I like the carbon fiber. I mean, the carbon fiber on the Magnitude is so sick. It feels so good. I hope it's anything like that. But anyway, that's the Spyderco Shaman. I'm highly impressed. This is going to be in my pocket for a while. It's going to be hard to bump this out as my everyday EDC. It just hit my finger again. It's a pain in the ass. I'll probably end up taking it out or getting used to it from carrying it every day. But I mean, look how easy, effortlessly that thing flips out. It's so satisfying. I mean, it's just nothing. Badass knife. Go get you one. Hey guys, thanks for watching.